been watching this live. It's a dude that he's a fan of the channel, of this channel, and he actually made a couple of really good like songs that he posted on the Facebook group, and which I'll put the Facebook group down here if you guys want to check him out. But his channel is called the Joe Wentz Project, and he was on here like just talking and doing a regular live, and now he's kind of doing like a
Oh yeah. Cold gin time again. Man. I love that song, man. Love that song. Oh yeah. Well, you know the drill. Let's get this stuff off. And we'll get started with the comments section. It's all y'all now. Yeah, man. Got the EVH Holy Grail going on. Haven't played it in a while, man. I got blue powder and I kind of put the EVH Holy Grail to the side. I was like, man, I got to give her some playtime, man. She still plays great, man. Yes, sir. Hanging right up there on the wall, nice and safe. Let me unplug these other wireless units. I always seem to forget that, don't I? There we go. All right. Okay. All right, y'all. Woo! Hear the baby out there screaming. Okay. Let's change camera angles here. Let me get my headset on so I can hear. Yeah, man, I got these. I had these on charge. These Mikado. I don't know. Can you see that? There you go. Mikado. Yeah. About $30 on Temu. All right, let's get to the chat. Everybody, thank y'all for being here so much. I appreciate it. We got a lot of chats to get to real quick. First up in line, Mr. Dave Orkin is in the house. How you doing, Mr. Dave? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Still trying to get situated. And second up, Mr. Mick. Man, what's going on, Mr. Mick? Nice to see you. We made it to another week, didn't we, folks? Thank God. Made it to another week. We are here again on this Saturday night. Michael Curtis in the house. What's going on? Oh, boy. We got a special treat. The Chicago Shredder R2, R3 Locking Nut in the house. What's going on, my brother? Oh, man. Ted Fair, thank you. Thank you, Ted. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Michael Curtis says, dude, those intro graphics. Wow. Yeah, man. I like to switch things up on the intro stuff. Try to keep it interesting, you know? Something, you know, just I don't know. I just like to change it up. Ted Fair says, have a drink on me, AC/DC. Yeah, I took a chance. I don't know if they're blockers. I don't know. So when this stream gets finished processing, and if y'all go back to watch the replay and it's not there, we know that YouTube blocked it. So I don't know, man. I took a chance. I don't know. Blue Mox, what's going on, my man? How are you? Oh, yeah. Hey, man. Miss Sandra, how you doing? That's how you open a show. Yeah, man. I thank you very much. I try to do something a little different. I try to change up the set list if I can, and I only play like 2 or 3 songs. Usually I just do 2 songs. Well, hell, that was 4. Usually I just do 2 songs on the opening, and I did 3 tonight because AC/DC, man. Come on, man. Have a drink on me. That song is awesome. I've always wanted to just jam on that song, man. Rock Candy, yes. Yeah, Montrose, Rock Candy. That was a classic song. Always loved that song. And Miss Sandra, thank you very much. She says, welcome to all tuning in. Good to see you. Yes, good to see everybody. We're here again for another Saturday show. And I'm guessing Saturday works for everybody, I reckon. Seems to work for everybody here, and I appreciate that. We're going to get into the topic of this video as soon as I say hey to everybody. Cushman in the house. Thank you. I like to try to be fair and tell everybody hey. And, you know, I think that's what you should do. Let's see. Wow, Sandra's on the ball, boy. Golly. Man, thank you so much. Oh, there he is. Jimmy Z. Jimmy Z. Rock on. Says, what's up, fellas? Yeah, he's saying hey to everybody. Thank you, Jimmy. Big G would play this all the time. Yeah, that's a fun song. Yes, Jimmy Z said that Montrose record was killer. Yeah, it was. Awesome album, man. I love that album. Yeah. Oh man, I want to go down here. Let's see. I want to go down here a little bit. I think everybody's saying hey to everybody else. Let's see. Make sure I'm not. Let's see. Cold Gin, PTL Fabrication. Hey man, how are you doing? Yeah, that's an oldie, isn't it? Cold Gin. Come on, man. Can't go wrong with some classic Kiss. That was the best lineup, I think, of them, you know. And Alex 2112. Hey man, I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for being here. Great guitar playing. Well, thank you. Love that music box you're using. Could you please tell me what you're using? I asked before, but I forgot. Yes, we will go over all of that, Alex. I promise. I'll touch on anything anybody wants to know about the setup I'm using. I'll be more than happy to divulge that information. Can hear a motorcycle or something going past. A whole slew of them. Hear that? Sounds like Sons of Anarchy out there. All right. Let's see. Okay, I think we got down here to the current section of the chat, so thank you for holding out for me there. PTL Fabrication, he says, it's a shame that blockers and copyright stuff. Oops, it jumped on me. Let's see. I think a musician playing your song should be flattery. Yeah, I've always wondered about that. There's some, it's not as bad as it used to be with the blocking. I remember years ago when I would play certain songs on YouTube and it would just get blocked, and the Eagles was one of them. They still might be. I think they are. And it's a shame. Yeah, if I were a musician of some type of stature and I went into I don't care, a sports bar or a bar, you know, some small time auditorium or something, and people were covering my song, man, I would be floored. Be like, holy crap. But I guess when you're on that level of stardom for so long, you get used to that and you kind of forget where you come from. You know, that's what I think. Let's see. Mr. Mick has a question. Joe, do you put your EQ pedal before or after the overdrive? After. Yes, sir. The EQ pedal is, well, let's go over my setup. Let's go over that real quick. We've got Alex wanting to know, and you know, we want to see what's going on here. Miss Sanders says the Eagles will always be blockers. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad, man. Hey, Ryan, what's happening, man? How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for stopping in. Okay, I'm going to go over my setup, and then we're going to get to the pedal that's on the thumbnail of this video. So what I'm mainly using right now to get my main tone is a Zoom G1 Xfour. And if you look at the description of this video, if you scroll down in the description, you will see some links for the stuff that I use. Now there's some links there for stuff that I still have, I just don't use it. But the Zoom G1 Xfour, that's the main thing I'm using, and it's an inexpensive effects processor, man. It's like $100, I think. And so I'm going out of that into a pedal board, and when I put my time-based effects after the Zoom G1 Xfour, like my delays, if chorus, you know, phasers, stuff like that. So the pedals in front of the Zoom are a wah pedal and a flanger. I also have the overdrive pedals after the Zoom. And then the last pedal in the mono chain of it is the EQ, the Boss EQ. Now, when I come out of that EQ pedal, I come out with that's going back into the input of the Zoom, and then on the output part of the Zoom, I have a TRS cable. So that's one end, and it comes in as two. So you can go that into your stereo effects, and that goes into the delay, chorus, the mimic pedal, and the last pedal in the chain is the Mr. Black double stacker stereo, and that's what's helping me get that widespread. I was getting that before with the Digitech, it's a hardwire chorus pedal and the Mimic. I was using those in, after the Zoom, because you want to put those after. It's kind of like the Zoom is like the amp, and you don't want to put time-based effects in front of your amp because it's going to sound cheesy. Always put it after, like, your effects loop and stuff. So that's kind of what I did here. I kind of made a poor man's effects loop. So the Mr. Black stereo double stacker is the last pedal, and it's stereo. And coming out of that, I'm going into the Rodecaster Pro 2 right here. And this also helps with the sound because it's, you set it up for stereo. Because when you get this unit, it's set up for like mono, and you have to go in there and get it set up for stereo. And it took me a little bit to get that going. I had help from some people in the community. Ryan was one of them. Who else? Jimmy helped me. A couple other people helped me, and they were kind enough to share some information to help me get moving along. So I don't mind sharing it either, because I never understood. I know in the past, like I've said before, you ask somebody about their stuff, and they kind of like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like, okay, that's kind of an a-hole move, if you ask me. But because we're all just playing in our music rooms and having fun, so why not help somebody, I think it's a good thing. And then, shoot, man, spread some positivity, help somebody out. So I'm going to screen share I got this pulled up for this pedal because it instead of me taking it off the board and bringing it over here, I'm just going to screen share. And the guy, I guess the man that owns the company, he does a demo of it, and we're going to watch that together. And just a little bit of it anyway. And let me go back over here, and let me add the scene and spotlight it. All right, here it is right here. Let me go back over to this tab. So this is what I have. It's from a company called Mr. Black. And I just happened to see this on Facebook. There was an ad on Facebook one day last week. And this is the pedal right here. All right. So you can see you got 3 inputs right here on the right. Now, of course, the top one is for an expression pedal. Of course, I don't use that. And you got your left and right in right on this side here on the right side, and your outs on this side. And you got a wet, dry knob here. I got mine right in the middle. And you got your spread, and you got your detune. And when you see this button in the middle, and when it's not pressed, it's in the red. I think that's what the guy says. And then when you press it and it's in the green, you're getting the full effect of the pedal. I believe that's what he said. And once you get everything set, you can go down here and you can save it. And so if these knobs ever get moved, I know it's just 3 knobs, you can just click, step on that pedal, and it brings that setting right up. Double tracker stereo. I hope that's what I said. I hope I didn't say double stacker. Double tracker. And here's a video right here. It won't let me enlarge it, so let's see what we can do. And you can hear what this pedal sounds like. Sounds awesome, don't it?
Hey guys, Jack from Jackdeville and Mr. Black here today with a really cool little pedal for you. Some of you may remember that in 2023 we did a short run of double tracker pedals and folks just loved them. And detune. Wet dry is just as it was on the original, with a 100% dry mix when set fully counterclockwise, a 100% wet mix when set fully clockwise, and an even 50-50 lossless mix when set at high noon. This is where you'll find the most pronounced and strong effect. Spread functions much as it did on the original pedal. However, we've expanded the maximum delay time to 178 milliseconds, which is only applied to the left channel. This can
Okay, that explains that slight bit of delay I get. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, man, that's cool. Okay, that's where it's coming
Control
from.
can really accentuate the stereo spread in image when used in stereo setups. Detune operates identically to the original, offering up to 1/2 of a semitone down when turned counterclockwise, and 1/2 of a semitone up when turned clockwise. However, the stereo double tracker has a really cool trick up its sleeve, realized in that central little button marked Sync
Here we
Comp.
go. Here we go.
Right there in the middle of the pedal, you will find the Sync Comp button, and it offers a wildly mesmerizing expansion on the double-tracked sound. In sync mode, shown with red LEDs, the left and right secondary voices will be identical to one another. However, in comp mode, indicated by green LEDs, as the left pitches down, the right pitches up, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's where you get your fullest effect. That's where that's coming from. And because I remember he said that if you have the green setting on, it was going to be the most bang for your buck, so to speak. You know, so that is an amazing pedal. It's what was it? I think it was $245, and I think that's what it cost. Let me remove this right here. Sorry, this thing's wigging out on me. $245 for that pedal. I thought that was a really, really good deal. Like I said, I already have a pretty good spread. It was okay. Now, to be totally transparent with y'all, I have the Mr. Black pedal engaged with the Mimic. I have the Mimic is next to the last on the board, and then the Mr. Black pedal is the last. So it sounds amazing by itself, but that Mimic pedal just puts the cherry on top for me, and it's an incredible sound. Like I said, when I heard that demonstration, I was on Facebook and I was like, yeah, man, I don't need to buy nothing else. So I kept scrolling, and I was like, wait a minute. I went back and I watched that demo again, and I was like, my setup don't sound. It sounds good, stereo good, but it don't sound like that. So I went ahead and got the pedal, and I paid a little bit extra to have it shipped here, and it said 1 to 3 business days. It was here in 3 days, and I was very, very, very happy with it. And so that's what that is. That's the Mr. Black stereo double tracker, and it's great. I think, you know, because what I've always done before I was able to do stuff like this with the Rodecaster and all, I would go through my DAW and I would try to get plugins like the Eventide Harmonizer plugins, and those sound great. You know, I actually did a song the other night, recorded something, and I used those plugins, and it sounded okay. But to me, it just sounds better with a pedal. When you actually have that hardware sitting on the board in front of you, and you can control how much you want to do. You don't have to mess with a computer. You don't have to mess with a plug-in. Again, it's yin and yang. It's whatever you like. But man, the pedal to me, it sounds great. Blue Monk says something here. He says, sounds very stereo chorus with detune and delay. Yeah. Yeah, it does have a touch of a chorus sound, kind of, sort of, you know. I disengaged my chorus pedal, by the way. Before I had this pedal, I was using my hardwire chorus with the Mimic. Now I don't have the chorus on because that pedal kind of does a little bit of that because of that detune kind of effect going on. All right, let's see. Mr. Ted. He says, hey, Joe, how does the new pedal compare to the TC Electronics Mimic? Well, there we go. I recall you having both. Yeah, I still use the Mimic because the Mimic just enhances the spread. Even though you have a spread with this pedal, and I could probably get a wider spread if I wanted. But, I turned the knobs all the way, and, and it was just, it was overkill. So I got it set the way I like it. Y'all heard what it sounded like. When I started the show, I had that pedal engaged and the Mimic, and I had it set up to what I like. And I still love the Mimic pedal, man. You can get those Mimic pedals used, and if you're not sure how that's spelled, that's M-I, let's see, MIMIQ is how that they spell it. And really what that is, it's kind of a doubler. I guess that it is a doubler. But it allows you to adjust the spread even better. It's a great pedal, the Mimic. I highly recommend it. You have to have everything set up in stereo to get the full effect of stuff like that, because these pedals on the top of my board, they're stereo pedal, they're time-based pedals. And once you have them in your chain accordingly, stereo, you're going to really hear a difference, man. I won't never forget when I finally was able to figure out how to go from mono to the full widespread of stereo. And this just helps, really helps. And it's just fun, man. Getting that ear candy, it's man, it sounds incredible. We got Mr. Rod in the chat. Hey, Rod. How you doing, man? Thank you for being here. Yeah. It's and you can see blue powder sitting right there. And I tell you what happened last weekend when I was playing that guitar, and I'm glad it happened when it did. I was getting ready to play a song, and I thought the guitar went out of tune. And what happened was the high E string popped out from the saddle block. Now that is a Floyd. It is a Floyd Rose guitar, and that string just went boop. It popped right out. And I was like, that's twice it's done that since I had the guitar. And what happened, what I had to do was I had to take those little black saddle inserts inside, those little black blocks. I had to take those out. They were cheap metal, and I put stainless steel ones in, put a new set of strings on, and it was fine. So I played the blue powder, played it earlier today with the sustainer pickup, and it was great. Let's see. Epiphone, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing? I want to see what this sounds like. I don't make sense, but that's what I meant to say. I want to see what this sounds like. I had to read that again. Yeah, man. We just did played the demo from the video I played in the very beginning of the show, my friend. It does sound good. It does sound really good, and I was very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. So I can let you hear what it sounds like with just the double stacker, and then hear what it sounds like with the Mimic. I guess I should have done that before. I can let you hear what that sounds like if you want, just to kind of get an idea. And I'll just do a couple of chords. I'm not going to go into no big song or something. But let me just move this out of the way right here for a second. Hang on, let me get this sitting over here, and this chair won't be still. Where's my, here we go. I gotta get something put in here. All right, let's see. Where's this chair going? All right, I hear something here. Put this on. I gotta get my headphones. All right, so what I'm going to do, plug this up real quick. I'm just going to do a couple of chords. You can hear what I'm talking about. I'm going to play everything with nothing on, no effects, that is. That's the only thing. I wish everything was wireless. I get so sick of dealing with headphone cables, and I tried using wireless headphones before, but there was too much latency. It wouldn't work. All right. Cut this off. All right, so now we got we ain't got no Mimic pedal. The only pedal I have engaged is the delay. So all you're hearing is the Boss DD5. Now I'm going to kick in the yeah, it's called the double tracker. Now the double tracker's on. I keep saying stacker. Okay, the double tracker's engaged now. All right, now I'm going to add the mimic on top of that. So listen for the enhancement here. So now we got the double stacker or tracker, and then the mimic. So you can hear the spreads a little bit more. Again, I'll take the mimic off. No mimic here. And now we'll add the mimic with the tracker. So you can hear it, man. You can hear it. It's a good spread. To me, it is. Really good spread. I really like it. It does what it says. It enhances it for real. So let me let's put this back. That way people can hear what's going on, man. Not everybody can tune in right at the beginning, so. Blue powder. That's a Schecter, in case you're wondering. That was my first, or is my first Schecter I've ever owned. And that is a good playing guitar, man. And that, and that, Sustainiac pickup, man. I love that thing. Okay. Let me go back to the, here we go. Yeah, let's go to the comments here so I can address what people are saying. Let's see. Okay, Epiphonia, he says he's out of hibernation. Well, good, man. Good. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a long time, man. I'm glad you're here. Let's see. R2 says he's back. All right. Yes, you sent me those pictures, man. You installed some titanium hardware on your LTD today, and I got to say something about muster bolts. We talked about that last weekend, and I installed some locking screws on my SBS model, the purple, and oh man, Mr. Dave Workin gave me the idea for that, and well, congratulations, R2. Yeah, man, it makes a difference, don't it? Munster bolts all the way for me, man. No other competitor as Munster bolts. That's the place to go. All right. So you heard the demo I did right there with the pedal on and off, and also with the mimic engaged with it. And yeah, Miss Sanders said it's a fuller sound. Yeah, I think so. I think it is. It's a very. Yes, very wide. Yeah. What's up? Oh, what's up, Slick? What's up, man? He says, well, get to rocking on. We done did that, man. What's up, Slick Rick? How you doing? I think Rick is, my brother Rick, I think he's out. Is it Seattle? I think he's spending the night in Seattle when he was, getting ready to deliver that load. I want to say that's where you're at, but yeah, man, we did some rocking, brother. We did that early on, and let me show you these. If I don't knock nothing over, I show you what I did, man, on the Munster bolts on the titanium locking screws, and put them. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see this, but yeah, you can see that. See that? It's purple. Can you see that? There you go. Purple locking screws right there, man. Look at that. Munster bolts, man. And that matches the SBS, and that stands for Steve Brown sound. All right. So what I did, let me get another angle here. Camera 2, please. Thank you, Mr. Production Manager. So there you go. You can't see it as good on that one, but the shadow's getting in the way. There you go. This SBS is awesome, man. Got the roasted maple neck. SBS, Steve Brown sound. He plays for Trickster, Steve Brown, and this is one of his models. And I did a couple of I did put a Godot trim on there, and I think it has a push-pull. Yeah, push-pull on the tone. It only has a 3-way switch, which I like that. I prefer a 3-way over a 5-way switch. 22 frets, and it did come with the standard locking screws, the just your regular black cheap metal. I put stainless steel on there, and then Munster bolts. Of course, you can get titanium, and I ordered the purple. And Mr. Production Manager, can you switch us back, please? And I just think it looks good. It's sharp, man. And yeah, great. Just little things like that, man. It just makes a difference, I think. So I took the other ones off. Put those on, and it's just an aesthetic thing, but it looks good. Okay, let me tell you my thing about Munster bolts, and I'm not saying nothing negative. I agree with Mr. Dave Workin. He also was kind enough to send me some of those same Munster bolts in purple. He said he had an extra set. He sent them to me. He sent them last Saturday, and he asked me last night. He goes, "Have you got those yet?" I said, "No." And he said he ordered some stuff from Amazon, and it took like a week to get there. And that's odd because, okay, people in the chat had suggested, and I'm not saying nothing bad, suggested that I order directly from Munster bolts because you could save a couple of bucks. And so I did that. I don't think it was the last show, it was the show before that. And I was getting online on here trying to find their site. I found the site, but I couldn't find the guitar section. It just wouldn't pull up. But then when I went to bed and I had my phone and I went to their site on my phone, it pulled right up to where I needed to go. By the way, it is 9:19 Eastern Standard Time, just to show that this is live. And so I said, okay, I'll order from Munster bolts. And I think it was roughly close to the same price as Amazon. It might have been $1 difference or something. Anyway, so it took a week for Munster bolts to send me those. And with Amazon, supposedly, you're supposed to get it in 2 days with Prime. So I said, I think I'll just stick with Amazon for getting stuff like that. But, you know, it was nice to get it straight from Munster bolts. It was cool, but was it worth saving an extra $1 or $2? To me, not really, because it took a week to get here. But then again, it could be something's up with the mail system. I don't know, because other people are experiencing the same thing. Let's see. Let me go back to the comments section and make sure. Okay, Rick, he's not in Seattle. He's in, is it Spokane, Washington? Okay. All right, good deal, man. Good deal. I forgot where you said, man. R2R3 said, I did the same. Purple titanium locking nut screws, regular titanium for the bridge from Munster bolts. Yeah. And like I said, if you want to get Munster bolts, go to Amazon and order them there. You know, that's where I've always got mine before. And I've ordered from a competitor in the past, and I'm not here to say, I'm not here to throw nothing in a bad way. But for me, I talked about it with somebody else who experienced the same thing. We shared the same opinion. And I said, yeah, man, it's like mustard bolts better because it's not as expensive, and you get better quality product, in my opinion. Orange Call Lifestyle said, man, that looks awesome. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's little things like that just kind of help it pop. Like when I was growing up, I was really into BMX, really big, and I had a Mongoose frame and fork set, but I would deck it out like with red tires and red Z rims. Anybody remember Z rims? Probably not. And all the red padding and the red seat and the red and white checkerboard stuff that would go around the padding and jump the ramp and turn, and do all them. I could never do nothing real fancy, but so I'd always deck it out, and that's what I'd do with some of these guitars. I kind of deck it out, and it just looks cool. You don't have to do that. Mr. Mick, he says, I love my SBS. Put a Seymour 59 and a JB. You did. Okay. So did you, because I know the way those guitars are, the way they come wired up to where you can use their pickups, Guitar Fetish, and just plug them up. So what did you do, Mr. Mick? Did you just cut those ends off, or did you put new wiring in? I'm curious. And there was somebody else. I think Mr. Orkin did the same. I think he put some different pickups in his as well, I believe. But those SBS guitars are nice for the money. I mean, I love mine. I mean, it has not let me down at all. I love that guitar. I think you can get them stock. I think for what, $350, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit less, and they're fantastic. You can upgrade certain parts of the Floyd that comes with it. The standard Floyd Rose that comes with the SBS. You can upgrade certain parts and get away with it, but you have to swap out those posts, the Floyd Rose post, right here. Feedback here from my headphones being so close. These are the posts. Oh, I'm always doing this wrong. Right there. See those posts? Those are gold. And when you swap out a Floyd, you got to change your post out. These are Floyd Rose 1000 posts. All right. And the ones that come with these SBS guitars and other guitars, they're cheap. The power went out, man. We got a storm getting ready to move in, and the lights just went. Everything went down, man. Everything went down. Oh my God! I bet has that happened to anybody else on the live stream? Holy moly! Yeah, everything just went belly up for a minute, and I got to get back to the comments down here. Everything just reset. Let me get back down to where I was at, man. We're talking about Munster bolts and SBS guitars, and I'm sorry, y'all. And there was nothing I could do about that. Nothing I could do. Do we have camera 2? Let's check with the engineer. Yes. Wow. I can't believe that. Let's make sure we got applause. We still got that? Okay. All right. So we're back online. I mean, it just went click just for a split second, and my computer stayed on, but you can see right here that is the T-Mobile modem, and behind there is another router I have feeding off that, so that doesn't have to do all the work by itself. I have T-Mobile wireless internet. But man, when the lights went out, the Rodecaster Pro 2 just completely went. It just completely lost power. It just completely went down. There was nothing. I was dead in the water, man. Thank y'all for sticking around. I appreciate that. Oh, that's the only thing I've always worried about when you're live. When something like that happens, there ain't nothing you can do. You just have to just keep your fingers crossed and hope that things come back together. So here we are. Let's get back to the chat. We're talking about SBS guitars, Amazon, Munster bolts, Mr. Black double tracker pedal, Mimic. That's also a great pedal to widen out your sound. We're talking about all kind of things here. And then we was on a roll, and then Mother Nature decided to put in her 2 cents. So, okay, here we go. Mr. Mick, he says, I think Amazon dropped UPS and now uses their own Amazon drivers. Things I order now take an extra day or 2. Yeah, we were talking about the delay just with the regular mail. It seems when I order something, it seems to take a little longer now. Who knows, man? But I was asking Mr. Mick about the SBS. He put his own choice of pickups in. Okay, yeah. He stripped it. That's what I thought. You gutted it. I pulled everything out and put new pots and a switch. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Yeah, I know, man. People in the company, they go, hey, man, what happened? Where'd you go? Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, man. The only way that would have kept on going is if I was streaming on my phone and just using that. It wouldn't have interrupted, I don't think. I think it would have kept going. But boy, it got dark, didn't it? I apologize. I got lost in the transporter. Yeah. It was funny. As I was sitting there talking, all of a sudden, everything just went dark. I was like, what the? And I was like, what's going on? Anybody else here? Insane, man. Oh, Lord. Okay. Let's see. Back to the SBS guitars. Mr. Mick says, but I do like the plug option that SBS pickups have. I wish all pickup companies would do that. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, man. That's why I have to get, that's one thing that attracted me to the SBS stuff with Guitar Fetish, because it's just plug and play. I can't stand to have to solder anything, because it's a nightmare for me. So, yeah. Let's see. Michael Curtis says, I thought my Wi-Fi went out because it's been storming here. Yeah. It's supposed to be doing that, moving in. I don't know if it's tomorrow afternoon or early in the morning. We're supposed to get some really bad storms here. Yeah. But it's just one of those things, man. What can you do? Let's see. Blue Mox, let's see. Blue Monk says, I'm with you on the Floyds. Never an issue with the 1000s and originals. Specials can be special. Yeah. Yeah, you can get by with a special, but you have to upgrade some of the little parts. That's what I've seen, just for me. The post is one of them. And then those little block saddle inserts, like I was talking about earlier in the show, you got to replace those. And possibly the long screws in the back. Try to upgrade that stuff to stainless steel if you can. And you can get that stuff on Amazon, man. I get all that stuff on Amazon. Dave Organ said that was odd with the power. I know, man. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, and the thing is, I couldn't do nothing. I had to sit here and wait till it reconnected. So YouTube's going to have a time processing this video unless they pick up that I played that AC/DC song and they's like, nah, we're going to block his video anyway, so it don't matter. But hopefully not, because that was fun to play, man. Fun to play. That is awesome. I got to give that an applause, man. I think the Joe's DeLorean just hit 88 miles per hour. Oh, that's awesome. Don't you think so, Nature Boy? Woo! Yeah, me too, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what and there's the flux capacitor. Oh, it went off. The flux capacitor went off. Man, you can't see it. All right, engineer man. Flux capacitor is right up there. And yeah, we must have hit 88 because it's off. Usually you see it going in the background, doing its thing, and it ain't working. Nope, it is not working. Wow, that's crazy. But that's funny. I like that. If anybody knows, they know I love Back to the Future. There's a movie poster right there. Let's see, where were we at? Let's see. Ted versus Joe, I think you got more spread now than my buck teeth in 5th grade. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. I had that too, man. I had that too when I was young, and then I had to wear braces for 2 years. Yeah. I was so glad to get those things off, man. When we can get you tapped into the local hospital backup generators tapped into the yeah, that's the first thing that comes on when power goes out. I remember my dad worked for the power company for 37 years, and I remember asking him when I was little, when I was young, and I said, who's the first thing y'all go to make sure the power's on? He said, the hospital. They're always first. I said, oh. I just remember that when I was a kid. And Mr. Orkin, yeah, man, he said he's doing the same thing with his SBS model. He's gutting it, and he's been sending me pictures, man, of his progress with that. I don't want to give it away because he probably wants to show it off or whatever, but it looks incredible with the paint job, the purple paint job on the guitar, the stuff he's doing. Man, it looks awesome. It looks absolutely awesome. Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's see here. This thing here, man, I tell you. Let's see. Blue Monk says, now Floyd is selling the 1000s. I think that is great. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I think Mr. Orkin told me that they're selling the USA-made Floyds out of North Carolina. Isn't that correct? I have to look into that just to have one. I mean, I still like the Godot trim. You can't beat that for an upgrade, but I'm just curious how much they cost. Dave Orkin, I've upgraded everything except the bridge plate on my SBS. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, it's fun to do. It's fun to do those little things. Yeah, Ric Flair. Yeah, Nature Boy. Yeah, he was the shizzle when I was growing up. And sometimes I was sitting here last night doing a video. This is no kidding. And I have my phone sitting right here. Let me do the other camera. Mr. Engineer, camera 2, please. So when I'm sitting here working on a song or whatever, I'm editing, I have my smartphone sitting right there. Sitting right here. You can't see it for the microphone, but it sits right here. And I watched an old wrestling match last night with Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair. Starrcade 86 or whatever it was. Something, I don't know. And those were the big things, the big wrestlers when I was growing up. Yeah. Sometimes I just like going back and looking at that stuff. Yeah. Yes, sir. It's just fun to reminisce with some of those old things. Okay, Blue Monks says I bought one of the new USA made Floyds. It is premium, but I need to try out the Godo. I know you love them. Yeah, Godo 1996T. I don't have any. The last one I had, I put it on a build, like a Kramer knockoff build, a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago. But the Godo 1996T, you can get them, the Chrome, you get them from Amazon. I think they're about, I don't know, it kind of fluctuates, maybe 120, 130. And those, I mean, if you're going to upgrade, you get rid of a Floyd Rose Special, get that Godo, you can't beat it for the money. How much do those USA Floyds go for? Anybody know? I could just look it up, but I just saying if since maybe people have bought one already, you can say. Yeah, right. He's a high-flying, jet-riding, kiss-stealing, wheeling, and dealing son of a gun. That's right, man. Oh. Woo! Yeah, there you go. Kiss-stealing. Yeah, that's, come on, man. That's classic. Awesome. Rockin' Dave Byron. What's going on, brother, man? Rockin' Dave Byron, man. I was going to call you earlier, well, at the beginning of this week. We're almost at the end of this week. I was going to call you because I know Dave was in the hospital for a bit, and I was going to call you, but I didn't know if I should. I was like, man, I don't know if he's still healing or recovering or whatever, man. I hope you're doing good, man. Just let me know, and I'll give you a call tomorrow if you want, or you might be back on your tour schedule with your gigs. I don't know. Let me know, my friend. I would like to know. I'd like to talk to you. Rod says Godo is the best in my opinion. I love Godo. Like I said, you can't go wrong with them. Let's see. Blue Monk says I bought one off eBay for $200. Included 3 packs of strings. Nowhere where it was made. No markings of where it was made. That's weird. I have to look into that. Ted Fair says Rockin' Dave was playing a live gig earlier today. Okay. I have not been on my phone or nothing. We got family here in from out of town again, so with a 15-month-old grandbaby running around the house and just pulling everything off tables and opening cupboard doors and slamming them and opening up whatever entertainment center sliding door. I mean, I'll be in here playing and I hear something go boom. I could feel it in the floor like somebody fell. And I'm like, oh, because you got headphones on, you can't hear, but you can feel in the floor if something hits. And I was sitting here playing, I felt something go, boom. And I said, never mind, I know what that is. That's my grandson probably pulling something off a shelf. Either that or he tripped and fell. Something like that. But I didn't hear no screaming, so I guess he's okay. I mean, everybody's out there with him. Okay, we're talking about I was inquiring about the USA-made Floyds that they're out of North Carolina now, I believe. Blue Monk says apparently they had 0 markings for a while. Now they're starting to mark them that say USA, made in the USA. Okay. Now, how long has this been going on, these made in USA Floyds? Is this something that just started this year? Or has it been around? Because this is, what was it? last weekend, Dave Orkin, he brought it to my attention in the chat. And that was the first I heard of USA made Floyds, especially out of the Carolinas. I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's interesting. But yeah, I have to look into that and see. Can you get them just oh, they've been selling them since last year, so I'm really late to the party. Thank you, Dave. Okay, appreciate that. Let's see where if I can pull it. I can pull it up faster on my phone. Where you can get one. I'm going to turn my mic down just for a second. All right, let's see. I put where can you purchase a USA made Floyd Rose? Sweetwater. Okay. Yeah. And I don't know if it's USA made or not. It's just showing pictures. But they're going for anywhere from $272 up to $315. And I know I got a German Floyd Rose once. It's on a guitar build that I did about 2 years ago. And I like the German Floyds. The only thing I didn't like was the fine tuners. You didn't have a lot of play in them. You had very little play. On the Godos, they give you plenty of thread on those tuners. The German was okay. It was I don't know. It was all right. It was a lot of money. It wasn't. Honestly, it wasn't what it was cracked up to be, in my opinion. I thought, man, the Godo is just as good. But you get what you pay for. It's whatever you want. Let me go back up here. Let's see. Oh, something went down between Floyd and Shaler. Or Shaler, is it Shaler? I don't know. Wow. Uh-oh. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Blue Monks says, yeah, I bought an early made USA about a year and a half ago. Oh, okay. Interesting. Should be on their site. Okay. On Floyd Rose's site. Yeah, I'll look into it a little later just to see what that's all about. Because I've seen, speaking of competitors, what I was talking about earlier, I seen on another competitor site where they do custom Floyds with all these cool colors, man. You can get like a neon green or the purple, and it was sharp. I've seen them have like the Floyd is one color, and then the insert blocks and the long screws are a different color. It's sharp, man. I was like, damn, man, you can sink some money into that stuff, man. You can sink some money into that, boy. And I thought about maybe trying to do that, but man, after everything's said and done, you're looking at probably anywhere from $350 to $400, and that's just, to me, just my opinion. All right, that's just too much. I can just spend $130 on a Godo 1996T, get my upgraded post, and there you go. And it's just, like I said, aesthetics, man. That's kind of a, that's a personal preference. But, that's the special vibes are colored. I didn't know that. Speaking of, something else, I knew there was something else I was wanting to say. I got it's a Fender Squire Strat back there. I got it from Reverb. I think it's a 60th anniversary. I think that's what it is. And the neck on it, I just wasn't crazy about the neck. It's like the high E string is right on the edge of the neck. Like if you go to try to play a note on that high E, it's going to come off. and I've tried doing things to it. That neck just needs to be a little wider, just a touch. And it's like, man, when they made the neck, it's just not wide enough. So a couple of days ago, I went looking for a Fender neck, and I found one on eBay, as a matter of fact. And the guy, it's a Player 2 neck, and the guy's got the tuning keys, and the nut is already in there, so I don't have to do none of that. Because another guy had a Fender neck for sale, but he didn't have no tuning keys. There was no nut in there, nothing. And it was like maybe $10 less than this other guy. So the other guy, I think he wanted, and he didn't have where you can make an offer. You could just buy it. So it was like $242? So I bought that neck. So it should be coming pretty soon. I'm going to swap that neck out from that 60th anniversary Squire Strat. I'm going to put that other neck on there. When I get that done, I'll show it on the show. I will showcase it on the show. How about that? Because that guitar, the pickups are great in that guitar. It's just that neck that came with it is junk. It's just horrible. So anyway, let's get back to the comment section. But when that comes in, I'm going to absolutely play that Strat, because I love a good Strat, man. There's nothing wrong with playing a good Strat. Okay, we're talking about made in USA Floyd Roses. We're talking about accessories you can get from Amazon to help upgrade your guitar. We're talking about, earlier we talked about the widespread audio I can get now with this Mr. Black double tracker stereo pedal. We're talking about all kind of stuff here. Blue Monk says, I just look, they have not updated their site yet, still saying that it's don't have any markings where it's made from on the Floyd, but I've seen the latest and they are marked made in the USA. Okay, maybe they're just doing a complete overhaul of their site, maybe, or maybe they're going to. Mr. Dave Orkin, hey man, he says, is that 255? Man, I'm seeing, I think it says 255 or 225. I can't tell. And only Chrome for the original on their site right now for the Made in USA Floyd. Interesting. And, Han 36 Solo, what's going on, man? You know what's funny, man? Han, since you're in here, you know, you see these lights, and it always reminded me of the green lightsaber, Luke's green lightsaber. And I have I know I'm nerding out just for a second here, because I've always been a Star Wars nut when I was a kid. But over there in the corner, you can't see it, is a red lightsaber that my stepdaughter got for me when she used to work at GameStop years ago. And it's one of those authentic lightsabers. And I had my grandson in here earlier, which this is not a room you want to leave him alone in, because there's just too much money in here and he could cause a lot of damage, because he just started walking about a month ago. But I brought him in here and I was holding him and I got that lightsaber and I turned it on, and he's looking at it, you know, and he was amazed, you know. But yeah. Let's see. Okay. On 36 Solo says, what you want is a Player Plus neck, Joe. 12-inch radius, satin finish, medium jumbos. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I hope this neck works that I ordered. Yeah, that neck that's on there, it's it's a stock neck, but man, that thing, it's let's see here. He said mine is awesome. Maple neck about $325. Yeah, I've spent about the same on the Fender neck. That one right there. Jesus. Engineer, camera 2, please. When I did Southern Belle right there, that neck, it was a touch over $300. It's a Fender neck. It's a Fender neck, but it doesn't say Fender on the headstock. But when you look at the stamp on the bottom of the neck where it goes into the neck pocket. It says Fender right there. I was like, that's odd. It feels great. That neck feels amazing. Yeah, the 12-inch radius is fantastic. Yeah, a great neck makes all the difference in the world, don't it, man? I'm telling you. Like that, I was just talking about back there, that 60th anniversary Squire Strat. It sounds great, but that neck is garbage. So we're going to take care of that when this one gets delivered. Dave Orkin, he says, I have a green lightsaber, also red and blue. You see, man, Gen Xers, which is pretty much all of us, that was a big thing when we were growing up. And my favorite, just to sidetrack for a second, my favorite thing of those movies were the lightsabers. Because I was like, damn, they look cool, they sounded cool, and it just represented badass, Jedi. It was awesome. But and then when I got older and those things became available, I was like, I'm getting me one. I don't care. My wife's like, what'd you get that for? What are you, 10? I was like, yeah, it makes me feel like when it ain't like I've seen, look, I'm not putting anything down, to each his own. I've seen grown people in parking lots playing with those things, grown men playing with those things, having lightsaber fights. I was like, I ain't that, I'm not that deep. I just like to have it. I think it's cool to look at, but I'm not doing that. Hey, if that's what you like, hey, that's cool. It's just not me. Bloody Soup 74, man, what's going on? Hi, Joe. Just got here. I'll rewatch to catch up. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. We're talking about all kind of cool stuff. Floyd Rose, Made in USA trim systems, Godos. We're talking about accessories, about pedals, and pretty soon we're going to get into the part of the show where it's the free-for-all. If you are new here and you missed the past couple of shows, well, if you're new here, you hadn't seen anything. But if you are a usual watcher, but you missed the past couple of shows, how about that? The last bit of the show, I do what's called the free-for-all. And what that means is people in the chat can talk about whatever. If you got something you want to bring up, subject matter, whatever it is, bring it on. As long as it's within the rules and regulations, let's keep it adult here. But if you want to talk about something else besides guitar, it's called the free-for-all hour. So there you go. And we're getting close to that here in just a second. Let's see. Then we're talking about guitar necks as well. I think a great guitar neck is night and day, which I already know that, and I'm sure y'all do too. Han36 Solo says, I didn't even have to level the frets. Beautiful neck. The 12-inch radius makes a huge difference. Yes. Isn't that wonderful? When you're holding that, it's just like, man, it's just, it's great. It's like, this is how it's supposed to be, Let's see. Here we go. Michael Curtis. Quick question to anyone and everyone who might know. Can you replace a wraparound bridge with a regular bridge without any major surgery? I've never done it, but I would assume, this is just me spitballing, I would assume that you could. I don't see why you couldn't, but hey, I've never done it. So that'd be a great thing to look up on YouTube, Mr. Curtis. You may already have. I don't know. Let's see. Rod chimes in. He says, K&N guitars make killer necks and bodies. Oh, K&N. I haven't heard of them. I have to check them out, man. Oh, the Dogpa's here. Oh, there he is. Oof. Hey, my friend, how are you feeling? I hope you're doing good. Still moving into the new digs, maybe? Let's see. That's what I was wondering, Blue Monks. He's asking Michael Curtis, are you talking about a Gibson-style bridge, like a Gibson-style tailpiece, I guess? Stop tailpiece? That's what makes me think that it shouldn't be a big deal. You should just be able to unscrew it and pop the new one on, I would think. The wraparound bridges, I just never understood those. I was like, man, that looks weird. But I guess it's there for a reason. I'm not a big Gibson person, but yeah, hey, you know, what do I know, man? One thing I do know, I agree with Slick Rick, Large Car Lifestyle. It's good to buy American. Yeah, that's right. Woo! That's it. If at all possible. Uh-oh. Here we go. All right. Well, first, let's get the dog post comment first. He says, I tell you what, try a 20-inch radius fingerboard to use. What a smooth, fast guitar that is. Wow. Interesting. Very nice. Dogpa got a lot of information, man. He's been around. Uh-oh. Here it is. Greasy Monkey Guitar says, Jedi. Pff, the Sith rules the galaxy. Oh, here we go. Come on, man. I got to say, there's some... Greasy Monkey, you're going to make me geek out here for a second. But yeah, come on, man. There's some of that stuff on that side, on the dark side, is pretty badass, man. You know, I like both, really. But, you know. Anyway, Dave Orkins says, I'm 50 going on 12. There you go, man. Yeah. I think that's great, man. It's great for your soul. Michael Curtis says, yeah, Blue Monks. So okay, this would be interesting here. See if Blue Monks can help Michael Curtis out here and see if my hypothesis is correct. I don't know. I don't know. The Dompa, man, he says, sorry I'm late, just in time for the free-for-all cool part. Yeah, man, we're almost there. We got, you know, I'd say about maybe another 15 minutes or something, 10, 15 minutes. It depends. It depends on the chat. This is, like I said, after I play a couple of songs and I kind of open up with the main topic, and then after that, it's all about the chat. You know, it's about the chat anyway. You know, you're the one that's keeping this show alive. I'm just here to communicate the chats back and forth to everybody else, to be your voice, so to speak. Yeah, that's talking about Michael Curtis's question. Yeah, that's what I was curious. He's wanting to know if he can swap out a wraparound tailpiece on I guess it's a Gibson or a Gibson style guitar with just a regular Gibson tailpiece. And Blue Monks says the same thing that I was thinking. I don't know if it's correct, but the bridge placement should be the same. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Blue Monks and I are on the same page. He goes, he's never done it either, but just the logical thought of it all. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could say for sure, Michael Curtis. I don't want to give you no bad information and then you spend money and it doesn't work. So, the dog pug got something to say here. Let's see. Okay, the dog says to replace a wraparound with a Tune-o-matic style, you need a tailpiece. Okay. Huh. So that is the reason for the wraparound, because it doesn't have the tailpiece. I never thought of that because I don't play those guitars, so I'm totally in the dark with that stuff. That makes total sense now. Okay. Yeah, Slick Rick. You heard that? You heard that? The Nature Boy. Oh, buying American if you can afford it. But yeah, don't get me wrong. There's a bunch of guitars I get it. Some of them are made in Indonesia and some of them are made somewhere else. Buying a guitar made in the USA is going to cost you some money. And I don't know if I have any guitars left that are made in the USA. I don't think I do. The one or two that I had, I sold some time back. And I have a bunch of Strats that are made in Mexico. And that one, right there, the Holy Grail I was playing at the beginning of the show, made in Mexico at the Fender factory in Mexico, because Fender owns or they are a partner with EVH. They don't own them; they're partnered with them. And from what I understand, it's that guitar is not made in USA, but it plays great. So it's a whole different kind of deal with guitars and stuff. You can get made in USA guitars and they're great, but I think it's just too much. I think it's way too much money. Okay, we're talking about wraparound bridges for Michael Curtis. He says, Blue Monk says the problem with those things, you can't set the intonation on the wraparounds. Yeah, that's right. I since you said that rings a bell now. Okay, Dogpub chimes in with that. He says wraparound generally have different mountings, like a tailpiece, not a tune-o-matic. So no, generally it does not work at all. There you go. It's nice for everybody to join in on the community here, because I did not know at all. Let's see. Ted Fair. Oh, yeah. He went to the King's X show a couple of weekends ago. He was kind enough to send me some pictures and some video. He said, I was blown away at Ty Tabor's guitar tone last month at the King's X concert, considering he was playing through... Listen to this. Considering he was playing through a $400 orange solid state amp and a couple of Boss pedals, because they were playing kind of it wasn't a real big place, right? It was kind of wasn't it like a country club kind of vibe or something, Ted? Something like that. But still, wow, that's cool, man. Yeah. Michael Curtis says the dog put. I guess I started the free for all a little early. Nah, man, you. Like I said, it's up to y'all, man. You're not bothering me at all. All right, Slick. Take care, man. He said he's got to go. Get ready for bed. All right, brother. Thank you for being here. I will talk to you tomorrow on the phone, I'm sure. Yes. Blue Monk says, I love gear nerd talk. Oh, I do too, man. I love that stuff. Yeah, because that's how we all learn about new things. And, there's been a bunch of things I've learned from the community. Like I said, with this Rodecaster Pro 2 and stuff like that. Just little things here and there. And, whenever I find things out or learn and people ask, I'm more than happy to share that. It doesn't bother me at all. Doesn't bother me at all. Whoops. Go back here to camera one. There we go. Let's see here. Okay. Bloody Soup makes a comment. He goes, was the wraparound made because they thought it would sustain better? I have no clue. That is a great question. I'm sure somebody will answer that in the chat, because I don't know. I'm not versed with the wraparound stuff, but it's interesting to know, because I know those things came out so long ago, and I'm surprised they still have them now. I'm surprised they still use that now. I've always been a Floyd Rose guy. That's just me. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Okay. The dog says the wraparound as made by Gibson was a budget thing to put a bridge on without the expense of a tailpiece. It is a bad idea, always was, in my opinion, for many reasons. Yeah, I've heard both sides of the fence of that. I mean, the little bit I did hear. Yes, that's correct. Han 36 Solo says they made the Tune-O-Matic bridge because it intonates. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so there you go. So the wraparound bridges, yeah, man, I couldn't imagine having something that was needed to be intonated and you couldn't do it. That would, what do you call it? That would drive my, what's that condition called when little things drive you crazy till you can get it fixed? I forget. I'm getting old and stupid now. Let's see. Michael Curtis, he says, I feel like I kind of took over the chat for a minute there. No, dude, no, that's what it's for. That's what the chat's for. You ask them questions, and if people can help you, that's what it's for, man. Don't ever feel that way. Hey, I'm learning something, because I didn't know nothing about those wraparound bridges at all. I'm learning something, man. I am learning. Let's see. Dave Orkin, he says that I had some really good solid state amp heads over the years, Randall, Ampeg, etc. Speaking of that, I love solid state amps, and I know there's some people that can't stand them. I got the let me go to engineer camera 2, please. And on right there is a Marshall cab, and on top is my Katana 100-watt head. But you can go from now this is how radical this amp is. You can go from half a watt. Yeah, you heard me right. Half a watt to 50 watt to 100 by just a flip of a dial. And right now it's on 50 watts. And it's solid state. And I love that. I love that amp. I love it. It sounds amazing. And when those came out, my wife got it for me for Christmas some years back. And talk about being really surprised. I was like, holy crap. And they had just came out at the time, so they were a hot item then. And I love that thing, man. And I'm not saying nothing bad about tube amps. I'm not saying nothing bad about that at all. But solid state, those are fun too, man, in my opinion. Let's see here. Ted Fair chimes in. He says the new Gibson wraparound bridges are notched with saddles to solve the intonation problem. I did not know that. There you go. See? Yeah. See, Blue Monk says, oh, Ted, nice. See, thank you, Ted, for that information, because I had no clue. So thank God for this community, because if somebody's asking me, just me, I'm like, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. OCD. Thank you, Dave Working. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. When I can't get nothing intonated, it drives my OCD up. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Blue Mox wants to know, are they adjustable? Those, I'm sure I would think, but I don't know. Let's see if Ted responds here. Compulsive. Yeah. Yeah, I can't say that word on here, man. But yeah. OCD is what I was looking for. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, man. I was like, what's that called, man? Oh. Ted Ferris says they are not adjustable, but they don't need to be because it puts you spot on intonated. Oh, wow. Dang. Interesting. Okay. Let me make sure. The Dalpa chimes in. He says that besides the intonation issue, there is lack of additional string length that adds to the stretch of the strings where the strings go into the tailpiece. It is a different beast, but some may like it, Dalpa says. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I remember I'd seen that a while back with somebody with a wraparound bridge playing it. And I remember I did a double take. I said, why are those strings wrapped around? And I said, oh, it's a wraparound bridge. Okay, but I couldn't get, I was like, no, man, I can't get on board with that. It just, I don't know, it just looked weird to me. But that's just, again, just my weirdness. Mr. Mick, he says, no worries here, Michael Curtis. I always want to learn something new about gear. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're here to do, man. To have fun and talk about gear and whatever else. Speaking of which, let's start the free-for-all if you want to. If you want to. Again, it's up to y'all. We can keep this going, or if there's other things you want to talk about, feel free to do so. Rod says that I have no preference between tube or solid state amp. The only thing that, these are the only big amps I've ever owned, to be totally transparent with you. These, can't see the 5150 there, but then the Katana with the Marshall cabinet. But I've always had solid state amps in the past, but they were a little smaller. They were like combo amps. And I always used those early on because you could get it bedroom volume. And then when I got later on down the road, I understood about a power soak, or they call it an attenuator. And that way you can crank the amp and use that attenuator for a master volume. And but I played to these two amps I think it was one day last weekend. And man, it sounds good. Oh yeah, and I also got the Microcube amps. Do y'all remember those? Let me grab this one here. See if I can. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll tell you that quick story. It's sitting right here. Let me grab it. You might be able to see it. Let me go to this other camera. Nope. Let me see. Let me make sure I ain't gonna hit nothing here. Okay. Y'all remember these? All right, so what I did is, now this is the red one I've had for quite a while. This is called a Microcube GX, all right? And if you want it to be battery powered, you can, all right? And you got your controls up there, and you can put this one's dusty. You can put I've had it for so long, you can insert a cord here for an MP3 player, and the music will come out of this speaker as well. And you got different amp models you can choose from. You can have delay, phaser, chorus. You can have delay or reverb. You can't have both. Anyway, I've always loved these little amps. Well, if I was looking right, I don't think they make these anymore. Don't quote me on that, because I remember looking these up. I don't know. Sometime sometime last year or something. Somebody's getting on it out there in a sports car. And it's called the Microcube GX. So they still make the Microcubes, but they don't have the feature where you can put in a cord for the MP3 player. And these are great to jam in your bedroom or whatever. You know, they're very convenient. Now, it's, you know, you have to keep in mind it's a small amp, so you're not going to get some fantastic EQ stuff going on. It has one tone knob, and that's it. You know, you get a one tone knob right here, so you kind of have to just put it where you think it's going to fit for your preference of audio EQ quality. So I was thinking, man, I was like, you know what? And I did a video on my channel. I released it last week. I don't know how many people paid it any attention. I don't think people really cared, but I got 2 more of them, and they're black because I wanted to match in color, and I was able to use a splitter and go from one amp over here to the other. So when I play the music, it comes out both, and I was able to use that Eventide micro pitch pedal that I have on the pedal board and go to each amp. And I turned them on, and man, it sounds incredible for these little amps. It listen to it over the phone, you know, the recording that I did for that video. It doesn't do it justice. It's a phone recording, you know. But being in here, I was like, damn, that sounds pretty damn good. And you know, I was like, hey, wait a minute. You know what? I wouldn't mind taking something like this to a small restaurant or something and setting up and playing a gig, man. I would love that. Now, whether they would, you know, just finding somewhere to play is a whole different story altogether. But I got them set up right now, man. They sound great. So I did that because, number one, if I'm able to get some small gigs somewhere, small, you know, not some big place, restaurant things, you know, so the less you have to take, but you can still pull off a good sound and get a good overall effect, you're doing good without having to haul so much gear. And the other reason I did is because if I just want to come here and play one afternoon before work, I can just cut these on and play and just have a quick jam, you know. Just my opinion, you know. Okay, let's see. Let's get back to the chat. I just wanted to show you all that real quick. Let's see. Back to the chat. Ted Fair says, I like how the folks in the South build Gibsons. I tend to get burnt out on the bolt-on guitars here and on the West Coast. Yeah, that's cool, man. Cool deal. Dave Orkin says, has anyone heard the new George Lynch material with Cassandra's Crossing? I have not. Yeah, that's George Lynch. Somebody else was telling me about that. Lynch does a lot of stuff, man, for a lot of collaborations, man. Oops, I'm missing something here. Hang on. Okay. And it's funny how Lynch has never did like a G3 or something like that. They may have asked him and he just didn't want to. I don't know. But if he did like a G3, man, I don't know. I think it would be really cool. I don't know if he wants to do that. Greasy Monkey Guitars. He goes, okay, free for all question. What was your favorite lightsaber in the Star Wars movie? I like Anakin Skywalker's saber in episode 2. It was destroyed in the droid factory. My favorite one, I would have to say would be, oh man, I forget his character name, but what's his name? Had the purple one. Oh God, what's his name? What's his name, man? The Jedi had the purple one. Oh, what's his name? He played Shaft, you know, and he was in Pulp Fiction. Hey, mother! He had the purple lightsaber. I like that one. But I like the green as well. But the purple was always so... Samuel Jackson. I couldn't think of his name. And I was going to... When my stepdaughter still worked at GameStop, they had one. They had it on the very top shelf. And man, that thing was like, I mean, it was high. It was like almost $200. It was like a collector's edition, but it was, even with her discount, it was still, I was like, man, I was wanting to get it, but I never did. She got me the red one for Christmas, my stepdaughter, which is, that looks cool. But as far as favorite color, purple lightsaber for me all day long. Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's see. Blue Mox says that is that digital or digital? Has come a long way. Love my Boss Katana. Yeah, Artist Mach 2. It doesn't give a crap about voltage, but it's not a tube amp. Yeah, there's some good solid state amps out there, man. I mean, it really is. There really is. I mean, nothing against tube. I love playing through tube amps, but for me, if you don't have a power soak engaged, those amps are either loud or they're off. It's one or the other. It's like, damn. And I don't never have the opportunity to really jam out in here because, my wife's always here or she's doing stuff around the house and I'm always at work. I'm always on the road, so. And that's fine. That's why they made headphones, But there's nothing like standing in front of a couple of half stacks, or if it's just one amp or a combo, whatever, and just cranking that thing up just for a little bit and just jamming. Man, there's something about that. It just makes you feel really good. Just a G chord, just, like, oh my God. Blue Monk says those Microcube GXs are awesome. Yeah, I love those little amps. They're small, but they pack a pretty good punch. And when I first saw those amps, this is going to sound crazy, but this is the truth. I saw this documentary on buskers. Now, you might think, what the hell does that mean? Because I didn't know either. I was like, busker. And people that are busking are people, musicians that play like in the subways of New York City or on the street corners for money. Those are called buskers. You may have known that, but at the time I saw the documentary, I didn't know what it was. And there were some buskers that used these amps. They were using the Microcube GXs, and I saw a guy who was dressed up like Hendrix, and he played left-handed like Hendrix. He even had the Hendrix look, but he had two of those Microcubes. He had them on like a hand truck, and he was, of course, using batteries because I think they take like 6 or 8 AA's each. And they go through some batteries, but he had one for his guitar on his hand truck and then the other one on top for his microphone to go in. And what was cool is he had the delay. It was almost like a slapback delay. He had the delay set up on both amps that were perfect. So his voice and the delay with the guitar was in sync. And you can do that with these. You can just dial them in and match them up. And he had I think he had some Hendrix backing tracks along, and he was nailing it, man. I mean, I was like, holy shit. But that's when I first seen the Microcube GXs was in that documentary. I said, what the hell is he playing through, man? That sounds awesome. And he was on the street corner, and there was people putting money in his guitar case too. And so that's where I got, I said, I got to get me one of those, man. So that's where it came from. And they're awesome. But I had to get mine off the used market. One of them came from Ohio, and the other one came from Japan. Yeah. Ain't that some shit? I want to check out more of those Synergy amps. Yeah, man, I heard a lot of good things about Synergy. I really do. Hear a lot of good things about Synergy. Let's see. Both on neck. Oh, Leo called it a bolt-on student model. I don't like bolt-on necks of any kind. Wow, okay. That never bothered me any. I got some neck throughs and all that, but if it's a bolt-on, it doesn't bother me any. I'm glad that mine are bolt-ons so I can swap them out. Just for me personally. Oh, Ted Fair's free-for-all question. I could go for the double lightsaber that Darth Maul had in episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Yeah, those were cool, man. Those were. I remember when that movie came out and that was showcased, and I was like, oh man, what is that? You know, and it was cool. It was awesome, very awesome. Oh man, I'm trying to let's see. Yes, Greasy Monkey says Ted Fair. That was awesome. The double lightsaber. And I've seen Comic Cons where the guy that played Darth Maul, he's out there and he's going because there was another dude dressed up like Darth Maul that had the double lightsaber and he was trying to be slick. And I guess he didn't know what's that guy's name that played Darth Maul? It's on the tip of my tongue. Is it Ray something? Oh man. Anyway, he showed up out of nowhere and he had his own thing and he was doing all that stuff, man. And that boy's sitting there. He was like, I was like, yeah, you better sit down, cuz the real Jedi's here now. But yeah. Dave Orkin chimes in. He says, at Ted Fair, I only have half that saber, just like Maul half. Yeah. And to kind of get on a Star Wars wormhole for just a second, what was that? They have an animated series, and I actually bought one of the seasons because it talked about more about Darth Maul and how him and Kenobi met again in the animated series, but Kenobi was the older Ben Kenobi that we know from episode 4 or whatever. And they met again and Ben Kenobi killed him. And I bought that season because I was seeing all kind of things on YouTube. I was going down this wormhole and I was like, damn. Because when he went down that shaft, that wasn't the end of Darth Maul. He got cut in half, but in the animated series, it said that he was in the pits of, I don't know, this dark, evil place, but his lower half of his body grew back, and then he got back, and he was hunting down Ben Kenobi, the older Ben Kenobi, and wanted revenge, but Ben Kenobi messed him up. Yeah. And he really killed him again, so. But, yeah. Let's see here. What do we got? Yeah, we're talking about the lightsabers, the purple one. Mace Windu. Yeah, Samuel Jackson. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it, man. Samuel Jackson, the purple one. I'm going to get you, sucker, Mace Windu. That's it, man. Yeah, that's awesome. It's that was my favorite color lightsaber, if you want to know. Oh, man. Work less, enjoy life more. There's Larry. There he is, man. Larry, how you doing, man? He says, what's up, Joe? Filming another video tonight, so I can't stick around, but I wanted to say, hey, thank you, Larry. Thank you very much, man. And if y'all saw at the beginning of this stream, Larry was kind enough to give me a huge shout out on his channel, and that's what I was showcasing at the beginning of the show. And that's Larry giving me a shout out, and that was really cool of him to do that, man. So if you're interested in camping and all that cool stuff that camping entails, check out Larry's channel, Work Less, Enjoy Life More. He has a wonderful channel, and he's a nice guy, and his videos are awesome. Really cool. He just goes out there by himself in the Arizona desert and camps with him and his 2 dogs, and they take on different things every episode, so you never know. But it's a fantastic channel. Mr. Mick, he says, I use a volume pedal in the, I say effects loop, I think that's what he's wanting to say. There's nothing wrong with a volume pedal, man. I don't own one, but they can come in handy in certain styles and certain little things you want to play. They can really come in handy. Oh no. Ted Fair says, I like the ring lightsaber Dark Helmet had in the movie Spaceballs. Oh, that's hilarious, man. That's funny. So I remember that movie. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Let's see. My wife says, go relive your youth. Play. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, they say you're as young as you feel, right? And if you do stuff that it's fun and you enjoy it, like with music here and stuff, I mean, like when the show started, I played those couple of songs. That's just invigorating to me, man. It's just, it feels so good. Even though it's just right here in this little room and I'm playing for, X amount of people, it's still fun and people are watching and the interaction is there. And it's fun, man. I look forward to this every weekend, y'all. I really do. Y'all make this possible. It's not this is a team effort here. It's not just me. And, let's see. Here we go, Mr. Mick. I think he finished his statement. I use a volume pedal in my effects loop. Yes, acts like a master volume. That way I can turn the volume up on the amp to get the tubes working, but have it at low volume. That is a great idea. Fantastic. That is a fantastic idea. I've never thought about that. And so it's kind of like a power soak or attenuator. You be careful not to step on that pedal by accident, man. It's going to be like Back to the Future. And I can't even. Marty McFly in front of that amp. Boom. It literally blew his ass away, didn't it? Yeah, man. That's awesome. Let's see. Yeah. Blue Monk says that I played it for a couple of years before I got back into guitar. Fun game. Yeah. I'm not a gamer. I'm not into any of that, but sometimes I would look at, there was some Star Wars, we're in the free-for-all section of the show, y'all, so anything goes right now. We're talking about whatever, in case you just tuning in and they're like, what the hell are they talking about Star Wars for? But there was a Darth Vader game, I can't remember the name of it, where you're like Darth Vader's apprentice, and it came out a few years ago. It was really huge when it came out. Y'all might know. But you can look it up on YouTube how that game is from start to finish if you complete every level. But the guy, whoever put this video together, he put everything together where it's just the storyline, and it was cool, man. It was cool. I was like, damn. So I can't remember what that game was called, but speaking of the dark side, I was like, damn, that's awesome. Let's see. The Dogpa, he chimes in. He says, Clapton and Bonamassa finally figured out what I've known for decades. An old tweed basement is the way to go. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that. I heard a lot of good things about that. Absolutely. Let's see. Tad Fair says that investing in the PS100 reactive load box was a game changer for me. It gets 100 watt half stack down to a bedroom level, or can make a small 10 watt combo amp sound like a beast. Wow. Reactive load box. That's cool, man. I've never heard of that. That's interesting. Thank you, Ted, for that information. Huh? Let's see. Let me go down as soon as I get this cursor to cooperate. Yes, that was the guy that played. Yeah, Ray Park. Thank you. Just think of Ray Parker Jr., right? Ghostbusters. No, Ray Park, yeah, he played, played, what's his name? I'm just, see, man, I'm horrible. Darth Maul, there we go. Good Lord. Let's see. Yeah, it was one of those, man. I can't remember exactly what it was. Those animated things. I think it was Rebels, I think. Yeah, I think that was the animated one. It had like these three people that were together all the time, like this female and these two guys. One of them was training this younger boy, and it's like just three of them together all the time. Like I said, it's been a while since I watched it. But that Darth Vader game, I can't remember what that was called, but man, that sucker blew my mind. I was like, man, they're making some killer stuff for games. My grandson's over here, and he's 19. And he's really into gaming stuff. If you start talking to him about games, he'll talk your head off about games, but that's just what he loves to do. But he's getting ready to get a job pretty soon. So he's going to go to work. It's time for him to go to work. He will. Yeah, Dave Morgan says Darth Maul was a spider-type creature at one time. Yes. Yeah, they talked about that in the animated series. That's what blew my mind. I didn't even know that. Yeah, and I saw that, and I was like, what? So you can learn a lot of the animated stuff that's not in the movie. And I thought that was wild. Let's see. I love Star Wars, but does anyone think Kathleen Kennedy killed the franchise? Man, there was a lot of that going on when Star Wars took over or bought it from Disney, bought it from Lucas. I gotta have a drink of something, y'all. Pardon me for a minute. But yeah, I saw a lot of that on YouTube. And honestly, I don't know that much about it to know if she killed the franchise or not. I know she got a lot of hate. And some of the directors of some of those movies got a lot of hate. Because I'll be honest with you, when they did what they did with the original characters, especially Luke Skywalker, milking that weird animal with that blue weird milk he was drinking, and even when that movie was out, Mark Hamill went on a tour and was supposedly promoting it, but the director was right there with him, and Mark Hamill was putting that movie down, saying that you don't know why they did that to Luke Skywalker. And I was like, thank you, Mark Hamill, thank you, because it sucked. So I guess I just answered that question, didn't I? But I'm a Gen Xer, man, so I remember Star Wars, the original trilogy is what we called it. And then Lucas come out with these prequels I wasn't a fan of really, but I went to the movies and saw them because it was Star Wars stuff, and we've been starving for that. And then when Disney got it, it came out with Mandalorian. The first few episodes was okay on that, and then I lost interest. And but I will say when a Star Wars movie comes out, for the most part, I will go see it just because of the fan in me. But it's not the way it was. It is not the way it was. I don't, Yes, thank you, Dave. Yeah, Rebels, Ahsoka. Yes, that was what the show was. Yes. Thank you. Pardon me. Okay, yeah, we're in the free-for-all part of the show. We can talk about whatever. whatever. Let's see. The Dogpa says, let's just say that Lucas walked away from what Spielberg did to his story for good reasons. Yeah, I don't know if this is true, but I think Lucas was a little upset after he sold. Now, he still might own a little percentage of the franchise, I would imagine. I don't know. Y'all, if y'all know, tell me. I don't know. But I think he was a little disappointed how Disney did Star Wars, because they just took it and went in all these different directions with all these. And I was like, what are they doing? I mean, you can't have Luke and Han and Leia and you can't have them forever, you know. But the droids, at least they have them, you know. But it's just, I don't know, man. When they CGI'd Leia in that one, that just looked fake to me. I know they did what they had to do, because it wasn't long after that Carrie Fisher passed away. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's just times change, man. Times change, and just, you know. Dave Organ says them movies were terrible. Yeah, I was disappointed. I still went and seen them, but I was disappointed, because it just, when they did what they did to Han and Luke and all them, and I was like, what the hell are they doing? Let's see. Greasy Monkey says, I never seen Episode 9. I'm trying to think. I'm sure I've seen them all. The prequels were horrible, though. I didn't like none of those. I was like, I don't know. I think I've seen them. I think I've seen them all. And just that one character drove me crazy. What was the name? Jar Jar Binks? Whatever. I was like, man, take a lightsaber and chop his head off. Let's see. All right. We're in the free-for-all part of the podcast. Anything goes. Talk about whatever. I have a new level of respect for the YouTube channel guitarist Ben Eller. He picked apart the song Bark at the Moon and went into the way Jake E. Lee held his pick, made playing easier. Yeah, Ben Eller is incredible, man. I saw him on a thing with Sweetwater, and he was showing one of the guys how to pick, and you know, to pick smoothly, going from string to string is something I've always struggled with. And I watch people do it, and their hands only moving like this. They're not. It's not going 1,000 miles an hour. It's just a nice little. But to get that in conjunction with this is what's always been tricky for me. So thank God for legato style of playing, because that's what I do. Because I just never could. I don't know what it is. I see people do it, and they do it like it's nothing. And I was like, damn. And I get in here and I try it, and I sound like it's a train wreck every time, unless I play really slow. Dun, 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 dun. You know, but then when you try to speed it up, it just falls apart. It's been like that for years, and I'm like, that's just not meant for me to be able to do. And they, you know, but there's other ways to play things. You know, it doesn't have to be one technique. You can, whatever works for you is what I've always said. Whatever works for you, and you get the same or close to the same outcome, it's fine. Let's see. Dave Organ says Ben Eller just played in Mastodon a few weeks ago. Cool. Yeah, he's an incredible guitar player. He's been around a long time on his YouTube. Long time. Man, come at this thing here. And Billy Shelton in the chat. What's up, man? How are you doing, sir? So good to see you. Let's see here. Oh, Mastodon material is not easy to play. Yeah, that's yeah, I can't. I'm doing good to play the songs I have picked out on here, and I'm only doing those subpar. You know, that's just the way it is for me. The dog puss. Spielberg was not someone that made friends. He is technically ignorant. Yells and fires people. Nobody likes working with him. Wow, I have no clue. Man. I guess it'd be hard to get in that inner circle of anything like that, of somebody of that level. I don't know. Greasy Monkey Guitar says, when I worked at the GC in West Los Angeles, I sold a 1200 Taylor to Carrie Fisher and her daughter, Billy. They were very nice people. Wow. When was this? Yeah, because her daughter was in one of those movies. She played opposite her mom for quite a few scenes. She had a pretty good role. Oh, right there, you said that was around 2008-ish? Oh, okay. So that was a while back. Well, that's cool, though. The Dolphin says, I saw the original Star Wars before it was released. Seemed like a kid show to me. I'm into Star Trek and Star Wars. I've never been into Star Trek that much. I don't know. It just didn't do nothing for me, but yeah. Jar Jar Binks was George Lucas's version of Goofy. Okay. I didn't know that. I just knew he got on my freaking nerves, man. I was like, somebody, please get rid of that thing, that character. Michael Curtis says Ben Eller is one of his favorites too. Yeah, very talented guitar player, man. And when I seen him on that Sweetwater thing, he seemed very, I mean, of course, I don't know the man, but he didn't seem like he had a big head. He seemed very down to earth. And I mean, I've seen his videos. It's been a long time because he's got his shit together, just to be blunt. He knows what he's doing. And but I've seen his videos. It's been a long time, but I was like, damn, that dude's on a different level, man. He's the real deal. I'm just a wannabe, man. Yeah, I was like, wow, he's got it together, man. Let's see. Greasy Monkey Guitar said, I would have been great if Jar Jar... Oh, it would have been great if Jar Jar was a Sith in disguise. There's an idea. Yeah. Start whooping ass and taking names, you know? Yeah. Oh, you worked in the acoustic room. Oh. Greasy, okay. Michael Curtis says he's going to call it a night. Thank you, Mr. Curtis. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. The Dog Puss says that I played mostly everything at some point, even a 59 Les Paul. Nothing special, but that Santa Cruz was beyond description. I've played a 59. No. That's wrong. I'm thinking of something else. No, I have not. I saw somebody that had a 59, and it was a 59, but it wasn't an original. But I was told, and I'm not going to say the gentleman's name because he's passed on. And but he told me it was an original 59, and I was like, wow. And then, but it wasn't. It was a reissue, and that was just a secret that didn't come out till after his passing. And he was kind of big in the YouTube. Wasn't real big, but he, you know, people knew who he was, and he had a reputation with a lot of major guitar players when he, you know. But it was not an actual 59. It was a reissue. I found that out not long after he passed. I was like, damn, he told me it was a 59. But, oh, well, it don't matter. It don't matter. Let's see. Blue Monk says that his current favorite guitar, China made, Jackson Pro Plus, neck through, HSS. It's shocking its quality of my older made in Japan Jacksons, maybe even a little better. Those stainless frets show zero wear after 6 months. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love Jacksons. I think Jacksons are nice, man. Now I don't have no high grade Jackson. The Jacksons I've always had are kind of been mid-tier, you know. But I've never had a problem with a Jackson. I can say, man, there's been plenty of times I went to Guitar Center down here and there was some Jacksons on the wall. I grabbed it, played. I was like, damn, that plays great. I bought it. It was like, you know, $400. Still have them. That one I called, I nicknamed Jackie Pink. You know how you give your guitars names. The pink one I got, I called it Jackie Pink. And the reason I named it Jackie Pink is because it reminds me of that pink dress Jackie Kennedy wore when President Kennedy got, you know, assassinated. So I called it Jackie Pink. So, but that guitar plays great. I had it on reverb for a short while, and I'm glad it didn't sell. So I still got it. And it's a great guitar. And I'm going to look back on it now. I'm like, damn, I'm glad I still have it. Let's see. Let me go up here. Rod, hey man, Rod says that my Solos was made in Indonesia and I love it. I'm telling you, man, guitars that are made in Indonesia, I have a few, and I'm sure y'all do too. I've never had a problem with them. They've always been great. Great guitars, man. On 36 Solo, he says, I always wanted a soloist. Yeah. Yeah, the ones I have, I think they're like Jackson Dinkies or something, you know. But they play good, man. They play good. The Dogpa, he says that next week construction guys are supposed to start building out my studio. Then I'll do a video on my fancy guitar. There you go. Right on, yeah, right on, man. I know you've been waiting on that, Dalpa. So I think Dalpa has moved. He's been in the process of moving, and he's getting his new digs up and going, and he's building a studio and all that. And I think that's fantastic, man. And this is it for me. This room here, this is as good as it's going to get, because our house is really, really small. And of course, this used to be the second bedroom, and this room was my stepdaughter's room, you know. And then she moved down, and my son had it for a short while, and then he moved down, and he's married now. And then my sister-in-law had this for about 5 or 6 months, and then she moved back to Florida, and I told my wife, that's it, I'm taking it over, because all I had was the back part of the it's really just a big walk-in closet hooked onto our bedroom. That's all I had for a long time. And man, you couldn't move in there. I'd have to sit still and I play guitar. If I tried to stand up, I couldn't move. If I moved, the headstock was going to knock something over, or if something over here is going to fall, you didn't have no room. So I try to use a green screen in the back and try to put a fake background. And I didn't know much about green screens back then. You got to have the proper light to make that work. And I looked like I had an orange face, and it was. But I learned. You know, that's exactly correct. Jimmy Z, you're right. Closet guitar player. That's exactly what it is, or what it was. Yo, what it is, man. That's exactly what it was. But you know, you have to make things work with what you have. And when my sister-in-law, when she moved back, and I said, I'm taking over this room, and I can go back. I haven't done it in a long, long time, but I'll go back on this channel and just look. And when you go back like a year, 2 years, you can see where things weren't in here, where it was, and over time things have accumulated. I just remember, man, when I come in here and I started hanging stuff up, I was listening to, I don't know, there were some, certain songs take you back in certain times of your life. And for whatever reason, I had back then, the smartphone I had back then was an Android. And I just had, I use YouTube music to listen to my songs. I don't do Spotify or none of that stuff. I just do YouTube music, and I pick out my songs, make my little library of songs, and I just hit play, mix them up, random, whatever. And I remember one of the songs was Looks That Kill by Motley Crue that was playing when I was in here decorating. And there were some other 80s songs that were playing, and I stayed in here for 2 days getting stuff set up. And it was really bare, but it is my music room. It was a new level for me. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have your own space, if you have your own creative space, and it doesn't, of course, the little bit more room you have, the better. But if you don't, that's fine too. But if you have your own creative space where you can kind of just disconnect from everything, I think that's very healthy as far as on a musical level. I think that's very healthy. It's and that's good. You got to have a place to jam. You got to have a place to jam. Adolpha says, I had the garage closed in. Now I'm doing double acoustic drywall with mass-loaded vinyl in between and lots of tuning and such. Yeah. There you go, man. Absolutely. Well, that's awesome, man. I wish I could have a big studio, but it's not going to happen, man. I just use this for now. I'm thankful I have this little room. If I keep getting stuff, I'm not going to be able to move around. So Dave Workin chimes in. Let's see. He says that I have my own office / toy room / music room. There you go. That's awesome. And Blue Monk's just talking about, I think, stainless steel frets. Stainless steel frets are great for me. I have a heavy hand, yeah. Only have a few guitars have stainless steel frets, not many. I only have a couple. And they play great. They play wonderful. Absolutely. Let me see what we got here. Adolpha says that my first real guitar was a 69 Gibson White SG Custom. Ooh, dang, man. 69. Do you still have that guitar? Man, it'd be cool if you did. Ted Fair chimes in and goes, I'm cool with most guitars except the ones with skinny necks, considering I have the hand size of a silverback gorilla. What? Oh, man. Oh, okay, well, then the chunky necks are more suitable for you, right? Oh, dang. That's funny. I like slim necks on my guitars. Actually, yeah. Jimmy Z. I took our third level and finished that, and I have a movie projector up there and all my amps and PA system for low to medium volume stereo coming through my PV powered amp with USB input. Wow. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Man, you got it going on, my friend. That's cool. Dave Orkin is asking the chat a question. Has anyone checked out those new brass frets? Brass frets? Wow, no. I don't think I've even heard of that. Dang, I bet that's awesome, man. I bet that's awesome. Man. That's slick right there. I have to look that up. I haven't seen nothing like Jimmy says now. If I could only play like you cats. Oh, man. Dude. Come on now. Get in there and play and jam around. And that's what I say for me, man. I just got songs on here, man, that are on my comfort level, you know? Because I know what I can do and what I can't do. And there's a lot of things I wish that I could do. But when it comes to guitar playing, there's only a certain level I can reach. But, you know, like that, when I opened the show with AC/DC, I've always loved that song. And of course, the solo, I just improvised it because I don't know what's going on in the solo. I just improvised it. And that song is just a cool song. And I remember picking out the intro years ago because I was just noodling around and I did that little slide up kind of blues kind of. I said, wait a minute, that sounds like AC/DC, and I said, oh, this is what they're doing. So how I picked that out was just pure luck. It wasn't like I was trying to. I just got lucky and it just came about. But then I went on karaokeversion.com not long ago and I bought the backing track, the custom track, so I could still have rhythm guitars in the background, and I just kind of turned them down a little bit. And so I went over it and I was like, it's AC/DC, man. It's just, it's G, C, and A and D. I mean, it's just your major chords, cowboy chords, as they call them. But no, I'm not belittling anything they've done. It's just Angus Young is incredible, and his brother, amazing. Malcolm, just absolutely incredible. But I've always loved that song. And so it was fun to play. And it's just, just a cool song. So just pick some stuff out, man, that is you feel comfortable with, and just start there and slowly build up to where you're comfortable. You can do it, man. Let's see. The dog says, when Slash got the Appetite guitar, and this just jumped on me, so I don't know. And I can't read it from the screen because it's so small. Okay, I'm sorry. One more time. When Slash got the Appetite guitar, my SG neck was hanging on the wall above him on Sunset. Rick guitars on Sunset. Okay. There's a couple of places I don't know if I'd want to. They have what they call a bucket list. Everybody, I think, has a bucket list, and there's a few places rather I'd like to visit. And I don't know. I thought maybe like the Rainbow or the Troubadour, if that's even still around. Some of that stuff that was popular back in the day. And I don't know. The older I get, maybe not, but Sunset Strip. I mean, you can look at that stuff on YouTube and see that stuff is nothing like it used to be, you know. Let's see. Blue Monk says to Jimmy Z, we're talking about playing music and things on your level. Oh man, every time I get ready to read it, it moves. Jimmy Z, as long as you enjoy it, no matter. I'm 3 years back and can improve well now, doing 16th notes and at 100 on complicated crap. Yeah, like I say, you pick different things you want to work on. I don't really get too technical. I've always been one of those guys that I just want to play. So some of those YouTube channels that show you how to play stuff and they're real technical, I cannot get into those. I don't have the patience or the discipline. I know that sounds bad. I'm like, I'll figure it out, or close to. It's not like I'm going to be on the road touring in a band, For those about to rock, for me, love that song. Yeah, that's a great song. Those about to rock. Fire. Yeah, Jimmy, I salute you. That's an awesome song. Yeah, I remember, like music putting you back in certain times of your life. We would go to the campground. I grew up in a campground for many years of my life. I mean, my parents had a home, but on the weekends, we was always at the campground. I mean, every weekend. And when it come time for vacation, we take the week vacation at the campground. Since I was 10 years old, up through just about 5 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. But when I was a teenager, and they had I did a video of that place on my channel. It's called Where It All Started. If you just go on my channel and go in the search box and put Where It All Started, I do a video at that campground. It's called Lake Myers, and it was a huge part of my youth. And I walk through the campground and I show how things look now. And surprisingly, at the time of recording that video, things still look the same as they did in the 80s. It's like the place is frozen in time. And to a degree, there's a few things that look a little different, but for the most part, it still looks the same. But they had up there in the middle part of the campground where they had like a game room. It was like a big wood shack, but they had a game room in there, had pool tables. Now, this is in the mid 80s, all right? And next to that was the place where the bands would play. And it was covered by this, the roof and on. It was it was just cool. But I remember being up there shooting pool and I'd hear a bunch of AC/DC on the jukebox, and all that. Because at the time it was fresh, and then 5150 had just came out. So you would hear Get Up, Dreams, Summer Nights, and then people would always be playing AC/DC on the jukebox all the time. But that was the time. It was like 1986, You'd hear Janet Jackson on the jukebox, and people, millennials now, like, what the hell is a jukebox? But yeah, and you'd put a quarter in and you'd play a song, whatever. And they had 45s. It wasn't CDs. It was actual 45, And I just remember that was really cool, man. It was really cool. Good times. It's hard to believe that was so long ago. And just think all those people that were there when I was there at that time, they're my age and they probably got grandkids now and all that. And it's just like, damn. But my parents, well, my father, he passed away in that area. So, and my mom lives down here now, so I haven't been back since. And I don't know if I ever will go back. I don't know. They still have villas up there. My parents had one of the villas on the front of the lake for, I don't know, a few years. And back then it was villa number 10. And that was always my favorite number when I was growing up, was 10. It was just coincidence. It was number 10. And when the last time I was there and I did that video for this channel, Where It All Started is the name of the video. Just search for it on my channel. I went back and looked at those villas, and they're renumbered different now. So number 10 is like number, I don't know, like 18 or something. It was weird because they didn't build no new villas. They're just all the same ones sitting there. But anyway, I'm going down memory lane. It was just cool. It was just cool to see that, and it took me back in time, man. Music does that a lot. Let's see here. We're talking about playing guitar, certain songs that match your ability to play. There's plenty of songs out there to choose from. Blue Monks, Jimmy Z is talking to Blue Monks. He goes, might have to try some of that. I do pretty well at rhythm guitar, kind of my zone, with some slow lead work, but I like to advance some more. Yeah, lead work is something that's, for some people it comes really easy. For me, it was always a struggle, always a fight. And then you take somebody like Ben Eller, like we were talking about earlier, and he's just incredible. People of that on that level, and I'm like, damn. But here's something else too, man. You don't have to be a virtuoso to be good at guitar. You don't have to be. All that matters is you enjoy it and you have fun. If you want to stick with rhythm and what, like you were talking, that's all you got to do, man. As long as it brings you joy. Yeah. Blue Monk says, just start out slow. That's right. Just start out slow. And, yeah, man, that's what I would always do. I'd get me some backing tracks from karaoke version, get something easy, maybe didn't have a lot of lead in it at all. And I'll just go with that. And just, or I wouldn't even work on the lead at all. I would just, whatever. But the good thing about YouTube also, Jimmy, you know this, Jimmy Z, but the good thing is you can record yourself on YouTube and keep those videos unlisted or private, and you can kind of watch your growth as a musician. That's another reason why I started this channel. That's not the only reason. It's one of the reasons. The main reason was I just wanted to have a video documentary of my life. Just because I've always loved making videos, and I've always, even before YouTube was a thing, and I was a teenager and camcorders were a thing, and even back when they took the full-size VHS tapes and then they took the small tapes, and I would always be recording something, just always, and then technology just advanced, and everything just went digital, and I've still loved it ever since. There you go. There's a perfect example. David Gilmour, he doesn't shred. He says he can't play fast, and we all know that, yeah, he's an incredible player. He's incredible. That's great right there. 15 minutes a day or more if I have the time. Yeah, I've always, just for me personally now, I'll come in here, no, it's not every day, but I'll come in here at least, now this is when I'm working, because I start my week tomorrow, Sunday, sad enough. But I'll come in here, if it's just for 15 minutes, I try to make it 30, and I'll just go over some of these songs, if it's just 2 songs. And that's it, just to keep the muscle memory going. And that's it. And I do that a couple of times a week. I mean, I try not to be in here too much because it's easy to be in here all the time. And my wife doesn't see me as it is because I'm always on the road. And if I'm home and I'm always in here, well, that's not going to go over well if I'm always in here. So, it's just how it is. So you gotta prioritize things. I try to anyway. The old story always has been if there are two guitar players in a band, the rhythm one is probably more skilled. Probably so, because he's got that right hand. I know some people that are incredible rhythm players, and I can just tell by listening the way they do their right hand. I was like, damn, I can't play like that. I know. I'm not going to try to fool myself because I'm like, I can't do that. I'll get sent a sample or a copy of something they're working on, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, it's tight, man. And that's really where it should start, is the rhythm and the foundation. And I have a lot to work on in that area, just to be totally honest with you. I really do. But, we're getting there, Let's see. But I'm having fun, man. Blue Mox, he chimes in. He says, I'll be honest, I try to play a minimum of an hour a day. I love the freedom from crazy life crap. Yeah, I just wish I didn't have to work anymore. I mean, I just celebrated, if you want to say celebrated. I didn't celebrate anything. I just recently hit my 25-year anniversary at my job. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm so burnt out at that place, man. I wish I could just line things up and just not go back. But unfortunately, I'm not in the position to be able to do that just yet. Maybe one day. But that place has changed so much. Bloody Soup 74, they say Malcolm is better than Angus. Yeah, he was solid, man. Solid. If you don't have your rhythm down, everything just falls apart, really. Yeah. Okay, this stupid thing here. Let's see. Jimmy Z, that's all I really care about. Having some fun and letting it out a bit. Yeah. That's the joy of music, man. Playing music, and that's, like I said, man, when I first started the show, I played those few songs, and I was like, whew, I felt good, Was it perfect? Well, hell no. But I will say this, I did go over Saturday Night Special again, and I made sure to get that wide bend right. And I said, should I play this song again tonight? I said, nah, I'll save it. I'll wait about a month or two, and then I'll play it again. I don't want to keep playing the same thing every time. You ever notice that with some people? And I'm not saying nothing bad, but I've seen some channels where they play, but they play the same thing every time. And I'm like, okay, dude, I seen you play that the last 3 shows. I mean, can you mix up the set list or put the songs in a different order or something? And it's not. It's the same thing. And to me, I'm like, oh. So I try to mix it up a little bit. And I think that's good for you. It's good for your musical brain, man. It's easy to get comfortable, doing the same thing. The dog says, been sitting here playing since about an hour before I saw this online. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Fantastic. Let's see. Oh, come on, man. What is up with this thing? Okay. Ted Fair, he says that my 6th grade teacher played For Those About to Rock on a turntable that a kid brought from home. That was almost unheard of, considering she always played folk music. Oh, the teacher? Yeah. I bet that was a shock. I remember a similar story. I was in music class in elementary school, So it must have been about 1980, because Joan Jett had just released I Love Rock and Roll. And somebody had brought that to school, that single, the 45 single. And there you go, Ted. It was the same. It was a music class, and the teacher had a record player. You know, the old record players, you have the built-in speaker from school, and we was all seated. All of us kids were seated in a circle, and the record player was in the middle, and the teacher played it, and it was I Love Rock and Roll with Joan Jett, and that song was brand new then. And I remember I was like, oh man, I just remember it even back then. I was like, this sounds awesome. And wow. It's funny how that's so similar. Let's see here. A lot of cool people I know online had 3 or 4 great songs in them, but are on song 250. Yeah, I don't know that many songs. I tried my best. I think I have close to 50 songs on here, thereabouts, and that's enough for me to try to maintain. 50 is a lot for me. That's a lot, because I watch a lot of things on musicians when I have time, and I mean people that do it professionally, and when I mean professionally, that they get paid to do that. And those level of musicians, they know anywhere from 250 to 300 songs as a general rule of thumb. And I was like, good God. They just counted off. Okay, we're going to play this, and here we go, 1, 2, and they play it. Steve Lukather is one of those people, man. He's incredible. But he's done it all of his life. He's done it all of his life. Blue Monk says, I'm spoiled after years of construction. Had 80 guys. Now just the wife and I. I take most of the winter time off. Oh, that's nice, man. Yeah, man. You know, my bucket list thing to do when I get a little older. How much is a little older? I mean, I'm about to be 55 next month. But like I said, I grew up in a campground most of my life. I like to get a camper. Just something with one slide out on it. And I have to get another truck down the road. Or maybe my mom will let me use her 4Runner. It'll pull a camper. But I like to get a camper. Just something simple. Nothing fancy. Just something simple. And take these rolling microcubes, man, and a couple of guitars and find a nice campsite or somewhere to camp where I can hook up and have water and, you know, electricity, and I have me a little generator for a backup in case I need it. And make some videos, man. Make some videos out playing at the campsite. That is my retirement dream right there. That's really what I'd love to do. But, you know, I still got some things that I have to take care of, and a couple of things to pay off. And then, you know, we'll get there. Eventually, if the Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise, we'll get there. We'll get there, man. The Dalpa, he says, I like Luke. He is for sure has a couple of screws loose, but that dude can play. Yeah, he has a weird sense of humor. Steve Rosen, famous author and writer, I actually got to interview him, was it last year? And you can see, no, you can't see it. That's his book right there. I keep on top of that rack that he wrote about Edward Van Halen. And I was fortunate enough to interview Steve Rosen on this channel and pick his brain. And he gave me that book. He sent me that book, and he gave me his audio book. He sent that to me, and I got to interview him. I mean, that was just total. That was sevens all the way across. That was a jackpot. And he's interviewed a lot of people. And he just recently released a video on his channel where he interviewed Steve Lukather. I think he said the video is about 10 years old because Luke still has dark hair, and he's put on a lot of weight. Steve Lukather, he looks like Santa Claus now. He's put on a lot of weight. He can still play, but I was like, damn, what happened to Luke in the past year and a half, man? But I'm not trying to be ugly, but the guy is incredible. I love his guitar playing and all the things he's done, man. Are you kidding me? Shoot, man. That dude's something, boy. Something else. I got his audiobook, The Gospel According to Luke, Steve Lukather's book. It's really good. If you want a good story, and he narrates his own book. Sure does. It's really interesting. All the stories he tells about all those sessions he did. Let's see. Godalpa, he says, after 5 years in a trailer, I never want to see another one. I bought 10 acres of hills and pine trees. My backyard beats most campgrounds now. I can understand that, man. If, you know, I understand that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in a camper full time. I mean, if you have to, you have to. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I would just like to go camping from time to time. You know. Let's see. Blue Mox says that I sold my house. We now live in a modern RV. Yes, I have a car trailer full of work gear. We're not rich, but have the freedom from worries about money. There you go, man. Hey, whatever works, bro. You know, like I said, it's different strokes for different folks, man. And if it suits your situation, and that's all that matters. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. Rod chimes in. Uh-oh. I want to see you play Edison's Medicine from Tesla. Oh, man, Tesla. Whew. That is a badass group right there. Now, I don't know if I could play that song, Rod. Those guys ain't no joke. I love Tesla. Tesla is they're bad. I play one or two of their songs, something simple, Little Susie, or I have getting better on here, but it's hard to keep up with the track because there's no click. When the clean part is in the beginning, there's no click to follow, so you have to do it by feel, and it's really easy to get lost. You have to really connect with the lead vocal to know your place in the song. And I mean, you can do it, but it's tough. It's tough. I knew Steve Rosen's brother when I was 14. Those guys influenced me hugely. I went to see Steve Rosen play once, and he introduced me to Tim Bogart, who I sat next to and talking during the show. I didn't know Steve Rosen played. I knew he had a guitar and all, but I didn't know he played, or he was playing like that. I didn't know that. The Dolphin says, I have a 2019 Montana High Country 41-foot fifth wheel for sale. I hear you, man. Fifth wheels are nice, man. Those are nice. Well, y'all, we have hit 3 hours. Wow. We have hit 3 hours again on this podcast. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate that. This has been a fantastic show, and I want to thank everybody for taking the time to hang out with me, and thank y'all for participating. If it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't have a show, and thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Y'all have made this another success, and I have y'all to thank for it. So thank you so much. And until next time, be good to each other, be kind, keep rocking out, keep playing guitar, and we'll see you on the next time around. Thank y'all very much. Bye-bye.